All right, we are live. Gonna wait for some people to show up, make sure the chat's working, all that good stuff. So just bear with me. Don't want to waste my A material if the chat ain't working, because then what's the point? You guys can get to watch me do nothing for a couple minutes, probably. Okay, we got some people in here now. If you would be so kind as to post something in the chat, that way we know it's working, and then we will start. Um, I do have. Oh, hey, the chat is working. Can you believe it? Things are kind of working. Okay. All right, Desiree, Zepzern, what's going on? I'm glad to see you guys here. Let's just hope that this thing works. Yeah, holy crap, it's working. I thought the same thing when I started the stream. There was nobody here. I'm like, oh, tell me something else isn't wrong. Um, Hopefully it goes well. And we'll see how this goes. Well, this is the low budget live stream, as you guys know. I do want to talk about first. I was researching a little bit into the chat not working, and I noticed some other YouTubers were saying technology's being nice. Yeah, well, it's only saying there's only. Oh, now it's saying there's two of you here. It's only saying one of you were here, but you were both chatting. That was weird. YouTube is weird. Um, I was looking into it, and I don't remember all the sites and videos I watched on it, but I think it was Tipster that said he was trying to use that the premiere thing where you can premiere your videos live and chat along with people and things. And he said he was having issues with the chat. So, and that was about the same time as we were doing our uh, live stream a couple weeks ago. So I guess it just wasn't me. So that makes me feel a little better that a little bit bigger YouTuber was having an issue too. So yeah, I don't know why it wasn't working. YouTube, I guess. Um, and also since I've got so much congestion here and I'm still a little sickly. Today's liquid courage is brought to you by the tropical screwdriver. It would be pineapple juice, orange juice, and coconut vodka. Because why not? It's wintertime here. We might as well drink like it's warm. Um, but another thing I want to talk about the channel, along with the new Wi-Fi adapter I got last time, I also upped my internet speed, so hopefully that will help this and other things. I know it helped my upload speed because my videos were taking like 4 or 5 hours, depending on how long they were, and then all of a sudden it was the same length of video is only taking an hour to upload. So I'm okay with that. So let's see, what can we talk about first? I got a lot to talk about. I'll talk about the stuff I teased first. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is Jon Favreau's present to everybody for Christmas. As most people know, that Favreau is behind one of the bigger Star Wars shows that's going to be happening, The Mandalorian on the Disney Plus streaming service. And it has been confirmed it is set between the events of Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. Um, for Christmas, Favreau posted a picture of fan favorite IG-88, the droid, the bounty hunter droid, in front of a green screen with the caption "Merry Christmas," confirming the character for The Mandalorian. And what's cool about it is it was a practical effect and not CGI, or at least I'm guessing a lot of it's going to be practical effect. I'm sure they'll have to do some CGI with that. So that was a kind of a neat little present. Zanzel10, how you going? Happy New Year to you too. So then, so that was the big news that came from that show. But there's also a rumor out there now that we know the setting. Apparently, something was spotted on set that could be teasing another popular Star Wars character. Power Glove, how you doing? Let's see. Apparently, on the set, um, they spotted from Rebels Sabine Wren's helmet. Where, okay, it's a show called The Mandalorian. There's probably going to be lots of Mandalorian stuff in the show, but the thing is, her helmet is so distinct from all the others from anything we've ever seen because she painted it up and was an artist and everything. And they thought they saw it on set. Now, is she going to be in the show? Is it just an Easter egg? We don't know. It's just all rumor and speculation right now. But uh, if she's in that show, that would be pretty cool because where the show is set, the fact that she's kind of on a mission right now. If you watched Rebels, spoiler alert, she's searching for Ezra, and she may be training to be a Jedi. We don't know. She went off. She went off to search for Ezra. So I'm hoping that maybe she'll be a part of the show. Daniel, how's it going, buddy? We'll get to that in a minute. Um, so yeah, if she's a part of the show, that'd be cool. That being said, in a way, I don't want her to be in the show because I'd like her adventure to be another thing, like maybe a movie or another show, because I think there's so much more there. A continuation of Rebels, especially in live action form, would be pretty cool. The next thing I want to talk about, um, I I I hope you all have seen Bumblebee. If you haven't, I'm sorry, I'm spoiling it right now because I want to talk about the future a little bit. And it's been out, I think, long enough. It's been out, what, a couple weeks now, 2-3 weeks. I know I saw it a little bit before that, but I've held off as long as I can because I want to talk about the future of the franchise. Okay, so Travis, there was an interview with Travis Knight, and he said that in the opening scene, which shows Cybertron, he wanted to use Megatron in that scene. He wanted whenever the bad guys were attacking, and then right before the good guys were getting pushed back, he wanted Megatron to come out, and I'm willing to bet he wanted to have Megatron turn into the gun and go into one of the people's hands and fire people. And because I mean, come on, with all the moments in Bumblebee that we saw that got us excited, how awesome would that be if we saw like Starscream holding Megatron? But he was told that he was not allowed to use Megatron because, according to the Bayformers movies, he was already on Earth, because he was frozen or whatever. I tend to forget everything that happened in those movies because I like to erase those bad memories. But here's the thing: the ending to Bumblebee erases the Bayformer movies. So, because at the end of Bumblebee, Optimus Prime and the other Autobots show up on Earth. In the Bayformers movies, they showed up during those movies in the present day, where in Bumblebee at the end, they show up in 1987. So that kind of just shoves the Bayformer stuff aside because that needed to happen. So there's that. Plus, Bumblebee, according to Transformers The Last Night, that movie, Bumblebee was supposed to show up on Earth sometime before World War II. Plus, Transformers were there forever anyway, because they were in the time of Merlin, remember? And plus, Unicron was Earth. I mean, come on. How can we forget that stroke of genius? But in Bumblebee, he doesn't come to Earth until 1987. My theory is that the war mode shown in Bumblebee, uh, that's where his eyes turned red and he starts blowing away the military and he has to be calmed down. I think that was going to have something to do with his World War II connections. Like he was he had to literally be a war machine back then to help the Americans. And I think that was supposed to be a leftover from that, and they couldn't really get rid of it in the movie. They just had to show that he had that kind of mode, I guess, just kind of keep it in there because you couldn't really cut that scene from Bumblebee. But since they're not using the World War II stuff anymore, they just couldn't figure out what to do with it, I guess. See, here's the thing. While Bumblebee, we all know, and it's kind of obvious with some of the stuff that's in it, while Bumblebee did start as a cash-in companion film for the Bayformers movies, because of course they thought all the Bayformer movies were going to make tons and tons and tons of money until people finally turned on them after they ruined the Dinobots. And it's definitely was going to be a cash-in film because they had to keep some of the stuff from the movies, like Bumblebee's lack of voice, for example. They took what they had because they couldn't just totally remake a new movie. There was no way that was going to happen. They took what they had. They added some scenes at the first. They added some scenes at the end. And they turned it into, hopefully, a reboot that we can be proud of in the future. Because by the opening scene of Bumblebee, and I've mentioned this in my review, the opening scene of Bumblebee makes every Bayformer movie just crap. I mean, it was crap anyway, but it just says, why isn't this what we got? Why didn't they look like this? Why didn't they act like this? This is what we want. And it took forever to give it to us. So hopefully now, since we're getting this soft reboot-ish thing, hopefully they don't take the lack of people going to see it as a bad sign, like, oh, this isn't what people wanted. They wanted more stupid Bayformer stuff. No, people were just scared to go see it because they were afraid of more Bayformer stuff. So if you haven't seen Bumblebee, I know I just kind of ruined it for you, but then again, I didn't ruin it for you. Still an awesome movie. Still one of my favorite movies of this year. Definitely go check it out if you haven't seen it, because it's the Transformers movies, at least the beginning of the Transformers movies that especially we as fans, have wanted. Let's go through some of the chat here. Where was I? Daniel watched Bumblebee, gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Zepstern gave it a 9 out of 10. That's very high praise. And, I had my issues with it, but it's still, I saw it again yesterday. I was like, you know what? I got an extra thing on my A-list. I'm going to go see it. And I went and seen it again, and it's still fantastic. Let's see. The best scene of the, was that Satchel? If hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Is the best scene the opening scene? Because I would agree. Let's see. Desiree says, yeah, I was going to ask that. Like in Bumblebee, a soft reboot, it wasn't supposed to be, but it is now, and that's a fantastic thing because if they would have done, I don't know what they would have done had Bay stayed in control. The Cybertron scene, yeah. And hi to you also, Satchel. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not. But the Cybertron scene is amazing. It's the cartoon come to life, and I loved every second of it. I wanted the whole movie to be that, to be honest. But let's see, favorite Transformers cartoon show. And favorite Hasbro cartoon outside of Transformers. My favorite cartoon show is the original. I want to check out what is it? Is it Prime? I think is what it was from a few years ago. I want to check that out. And I heard that one. I think that's what it's called. There's so many of them now. I wasn't a huge fan of Beast Wars, but I thought it was okay. But I love the original more than anything. And my favorite Hasbro cartoon outside of Transformers, it's G.I. Joe. Because I was a big G.I. Joe G.I. Joe guy growing up, and I still love watching the movie every now and then. And I'm eventually I'm going to get to doing a comparison video of G.I. Joe the movie and G.I. Joe Resolute. If you haven't seen G.I. Joe Resolute, it's definitely it's like what they did with the Tick on Amazon. It's like if you grew up with G.I. Joe, it's the G.I. Joe for you now, which I loved. And he says Beast Wars is your favorite. You know what? It's cool if you like Beast Wars. I get it. There was things I liked about Beast Wars. I just think, I don't know. I didn't dig the animation, I think is what really got me on that. It was before its time. I didn't think the stories were bad. It's just, I don't know. I didn't dig on the animation, I think is all. So if you like Beast Wars, that's cool. Zanseltan says he likes Beast Wars too. I'm cool with that. It's not hate. I love Transformers, so I don't argue too much unless it's the Bay stuff. I like watching Rescue Bots with my kids, and again, I love the originals, and of course, the best movie still the first one, the one I saw in theaters. Still admit to this day, it's the first movie I ever cried at when Optimus Prime died. Spoiler. Let's see. Daniel says I only watched the 2007 cartoon when I was a kid. Do you remember which was the 2007 cartoon? I can't remember. They had Transformers animated. I think it was like Transformers Prime. I don't remember all of them they had, but there's so many of them that it got to be a bit much. But yeah, there's definitely some I want to check out that I haven't. And I want to go back and revisit Transformers Anime. Was a 2007 one, Cartoon Network. Yeah, I heard it was fun. I don't mind if they make it like more fun and not, I just don't like what Bay did to it, because Bay, just like he does with everything else, he craps all over it. Let's see. It was on Cartoon Network where they made a Transformers cartoon because the first Michael Bay film did well. Yeah, I'm not sure which one that was. There were so many of them. Anyway, we're gonna move on here. I want to talk about there's been an update for Marvel and Fox. Long story short, according to everyone's favorite Marvel head honcho, Kevin Feige, we could be seeing Marvel developing Fox properties very soon. And this is a quote from him. It says, "We've been told it's looking very, very good and could happen in the first 6 months of next year." This interview was done late last year. Feige says, "The notion of the characters coming back is great. It's nice when a company that created all these characters can have access to all those characters. It's unusual not to. But in terms of actually thinking about it and actually planning things, we haven't started that yet." So it sounds like they don't know what they're going to do. At least they're saying they don't know what they're going to do. There's a rumor I want to talk about here in a second. But it seems like being that the deal between Fox and Disney is supposed to close sometime at the end of January, the second that contract is signed, they're going to work. Heck, they're probably working already on all their contingency plans. So, but here's the thing. How's that going to affect the Fox properties? Will the same actors be used? Or will Marvel start over? Or a little of both? Here's the big rumor right now that I guess some Google search showed that Hugh Jackman was going to be in Endgame. Who knows if that's true? I could see him coming back. If he's going to come back to play Wolverine for anything, it's going to be for the Marvel movies. I still don't know if he'll do a Deadpool thing. I still want to see him show up in a Deadpool movie. Maybe not as Wolverine, but have him show up as just Hugh Jackman or something. But if he's going to show up as Wolverine, I could see him doing it. Because since he said for years, I want to do it in the MCU. I could see him doing it, but I don't know. Then again, he may stick to his guns and said, "Well, I had my swan song and a damn good one at that." Here's another thing. Will X-Men Dark Phoenix and New Mutants be a waste of time in the theaters, or will they tie them into the MCU somehow, or will they just drop them? You never know. Will there be a Kick-Ass reunion with our two Quicksilvers? Oh, wait, never mind. One of them's dead. There are so many questions. So yeah, I'm really curious to see who they'll develop first. If I had my guess, they'll take it slow and do the Fantastic Four first, or introduce a villain like Doctor Doom. Um, my original thought was that the next big threat will be Galactus, but I think they'll build up Doctor Doom first before they do a Galactus. So we'll see how that goes. Go back to the animation or to the chat here since it's actually working. Let's see. Ryan says Beast Wars was made by Mainframe, the Canadian studio behind Reboot. Yeah, I remember hearing they're made by saying I didn't know who it was, but I hear they were made by the same people. Let's see. Central says that's understandable. Animation got a little better over time, especially when designs slowly changed throughout the series. Yeah, I only caught it at the very first. Let's see. Ryan says Transformers anime was 2007 when on Cartoon Network was good. Let's see. We read those. Desiree said, I love the crap out of Reboot. Hexadecimal simultaneously creeped me out and made me deeply idolize her. I never got into Reboot. I caught a couple episodes, but I never really got into that one. Let's see. Such as I like Transformers animated, but its animation budget was low, which made its animation suffer, but still fun designs. Daniel says, quick question. When will Daniel, how you doing, buddy, topic begin? After I get through the stuff that I've got one more big topic to talk about, and then I'm going to get into the user or to the viewer comments that I got off of YouTube and stuff. So we'll be getting to it fairly quickly. Hopefully you're, I came up the best I could, but it should be fun. I as you can tell, again, I've been sick, and my creativity has been. I mean, if you saw my Bird Box review, Bird Box, I don't even get started on Bird Box. If you saw my Bird Box review, though, I was just kind of, I'm done. Just let me go back to bed. Let's see. Zanzeltan says, I just finished tonight's Spider-Man game on PS4. I'm hearing great things about it. I'm still on a 360, so I probably won't be playing it for a while, even if I guess I don't even know if I haven't decided if I want to get a Xbox One or a PS4, but that game does look awesome. Let's see. Here we go. Talk about Kevin Spacey for a minute. Let me know in the chat, did you all see Kevin Spacey's video, Let Me Be Frank? Long story short, if you didn't see it, this video was him. Okay, he has his own YouTube channel. I don't know how long it's existed. But this video popped up like right before Christmas or on Christmas or around there somewhere. Okay, so it's him. He doesn't look the part, but he's playing the part of Frank Underwood. At least it seems that way. He's basically playing the part of Frank Underwood from House of Cards, and the video could be taken two different ways. It's either he was trying, I don't know if it came at the wrong time, because I don't know if he planned on releasing it this same time, trying to get people, to say, look, I'm a great actor and you missed me and stuff like that. But it seemed to come out at the same time. His apparently he's got a felony charge against him now from like groping some teenager a few years ago. So I don't know if he's doing this in defense of that, or if he planned on releasing this and then the indictment came out and it's like, oh, bad timing. But it's him playing the character, and he's talking about, in a way, it goes two ways. If you think about it, he's only talking about the show, it makes a lot of sense, because the last season of House of Cards without that character, even though his character was the focal point of a lot of it, they killed him off. If you really need to know, they killed him off. But of course we don't see it. They show a grave. He's like, "You didn't see I was dead," and things like that. And it makes a lot of sense that he he was saying, the show did basically saying the show didn't work without me. You want me back. You didn't see a body, things like that. But then a lot of the things he's saying, things like, I'm not going to apologize for things I've done and not going to apologize for things I didn't do. And a lot of it paralleled his life. And I know a lot of you saying you haven't seen it. It's almost worth watching just so you can see he how he's reacting to his career going down the toilet. Um, because I am in admittance, he's in my favorite movie of all time. I really like him as an actor. If the things they're saying about him are true, I despise him as a human being, which that sucks for me as someone that was a huge fan of his. Whenever I was getting into movies, he was an up and coming actor and winning awards for The Usual Suspects, and he was in Seven, and he was up and coming, and I really liked him. But the more you learn, this is why they say, I mean, I've never met him, but they say you should never meet your heroes, because I mean, as I always wanted to meet him before all this, but now it's like, I appreciate the acting you did, but as a person, if you did these things, um, yeah, if you did these things, then I can't support you. I don't know what, I haven't really followed this new case, so I don't know. Apparently, there was video of it, that someone was filming. I guess in some bar or something, if I remember reading it right. But I implore you, watch the video just so you can see the duality. I know many of you probably don't like the guy, and I get that. I'm not saying this is going to sway you or anything, because trust me, it will not. Because you will see the creepiness of it. But if you watched House of Cards, especially, watch this video, because just so you can see the kind of duality between his real life and the personal character. It's definitely a weird watch, especially I've only seen it the one time. I could only watch it the one time. It was just something weird to watch, for someone that I had admired for so long, and then now this stuff's coming out. It's like, wow, he's been a creep since that long. Apparently, there was one from back, on the Usual Suspects set or something, and there was one on the House of Cards set, and there's all sorts of them that are coming out now. Which, whether true or not, I don't know. Only time will tell. But I don't know. It's worth checking out just to see the duality of it, though. All right, let's read a couple comments here. Excuse me again. I've got a lot of drainage going on. Zanzeltan says, nope. Ryan says, I didn't want to see it, but you did. Seshel says, heard a little bit of it via another podcast. Desiree say, heard about the video, ain't gonna watch. Daniel says, wait, Kevin Spacey went 50 shades on a kid. I don't know if he went 50 shades, but apparently he was groping some like 15 or 16-year-old or something. And he says also, all I know is he harassed a kid in 84. There's all sorts of stories coming out, and it's terrible. Zepter, ain't gonna change. Welp, see ya. Lance says the paparazzi was able to figure out where Spacey was living from that video. The next day, Spacey came outside in a retired since 2017 hat and gave the paparazzi pizza. Oh, what a nice guy. Sasha says, from the little I listened from him, sounded like he has nothing to lose and he might as well get attention in some way. And that's kind of what Louis C.K. is doing right now, too. He's even said, he goes, you know what? People hate me anyway. I've lost everything. What the hell do I got to lose? Let's see. Sebstern says, yeah, that's a decent point. I can easy get over someone I like that turned out to be scum, but I know most can't. It's, if you've admired someone for so long and find out they were a horrible person, it sucks. I've had that happen with a few people I've admired. It's just, it's like all of a sudden they're a terrible person. Thankfully, a lot of them I haven't met. Let's see. Desiree say it sucks when scummy people got talent. I mean, Frank Sinatra and Sean Connery smacked around women, and they're still admired. Yeah, it's definitely a weird slope we're on because everyone still loves Sean Connery. But yeah, he admitted in an interview he smacks his wife around. Sasha says my favorite performance from him was a 9 Lives. Yeah, 9 Lives. Oh god, that movie was so weird. Daniel says I knew Kevin Spacey was a bit spacey ever since 9 Lives. Kevin Spacey. Yeah, it sucks. Hollywood, they don't call it Holly weird for nothing. Endless, we will talk about Mean Gene here in a minute. Thank you for the reminder. I didn't put it in my notes, but we are going to talk about Mean Gene at the end. As I do want to share a little bit about that. All right, I'm going to get to the viewer comments. Daniel, I'm going to start with you. Daniel says, I believe put over Twitter and my community tab. If you want to talk about stuff on the show, definitely tweet at me. I put out posts you can put, subjects on there, but you can just tweet at me, or you can go to the community tab on my YouTube channel where I put a thing up there too. If you want to talk about something on the show. Daniel says, I know. How about a Daniel, how you doing, buddy topic? Since you said that it could be a topic, so I'd like to see that topic happen. This is what I come up with. And this might hurt. I got to put on my movie trailer guy voice. In a world where the internet is full of jerks, trolls, and a-holes, there's a place where some come to just have a good time. The Real Gino YouTube channel. This is a place where those that want to be like Fonzie and be cool can come and be cool. One of those people is Daniel, who always comes to the channel to have a great time with the community. He is one of the defenders of the ideal that YouTube can still be a place of fun and good discussion. He doesn't believe that it is totally lost to the society of trolls that have plagued the site for years. For this, he is always greeted on the channel by its founder, The Real Gino, with a hearty, Daniel, how you doing, buddy? Because he appreciates the support of friends like Daniel. Daniel, like the other friends of the channel, is a type of person that helps keep the channel going. For that, I give you all a boisterous, how you doing? So that's what I could come up with. I hope you enjoyed that. All right. Let's look at this. Let's see. Daniel says, I sort of knew that he was gay since he didn't kiss Jennifer Garner in 9 Lives. That was such a weird defense. Such a weird defense that he came out with whenever the first guy accused him, and he was like, "Oh, if that happened, I'm sorry, but by the way, I'm gay." That's such a weird way. If you are, that's fine, but that is a weird time to use that as a defense. That's all I gotta say. Daniel says, "Hold on, I think." Oh, thank you for the applause, Desiree. I appreciate that. Let's see. Dan says you two froze. Oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah, who knows? If this stays on and gets a few hiccups, I'm happy. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed your subject. Yeah, defense. Yeah, it was his defense, more like a distraction. Xantoten says Kevin Spacey now is living the life of David Gale. Yeah. Let's see. Ryan says there's another sad death this week. Bob Epstein, Super Dave Osborne. Yeah. I used to watch that show. I loved the stunts with the fake dolls and everything. I had a good time with that show. I never got a chance to meet him. He was at a few cons I thought about going to, and I never got to meet him, unfortunately. So I hated seeing that too. But let's see. We're gonna get to Zepzern's comment. He said, what are your plans, goals for 2019? And his are find a new job that pays better, lose at least 100 pounds, get superpowers. And then says, I fear the third might be the most realistic. I disagree with you. you're doing a great job and you're going to lose that 100 pounds because, damn it, losing weight is a freaking superpower. You keep it up, you're doing a great job. And I hope you get that job that pays better too. Me, I'm at a job I'm probably going to be with for the rest of my life. I'm okay with that. I've been there over, it'll be 17 years in April, and I'm okay with that. I enjoy my job. It gives me the time to be able to do my channel in some ways. So, uh, I really hope the best for you. But some of my goals, I'm with you. I'm on the weight loss. I at least need to get healthier. I'm trying to eat better. And then when I can start not hurting when I walk around and stuff, that's when I'm going to start working out more. One thing that I really want to do is meditate more, enhance my calm like John Spartan. Uh, so I don't damage my calm like Jane Cobb. That's just something I need to do. I need to calm myself sometimes and just escape from the world and just sit and think. I need to do that more. I haven't got to do it a lot. Um, but you know, it's something I need to do. When it comes to like the channel, I want to upgrade my set a little bit. And some of the equipment. I'm looking into a new webcam. I know the quality of this one's okay. It's not great. But I want to see about that. And also I want to look into getting in some new editing software. And I want to decorate a little bit back here, put some posters up and stuff. I'm still thinking about how I want to do that. The last goal that I have is find a better balance between work and rest, because there's sometimes I will work for hours upon hours straight, and then there's times where I'm sitting around and like I don't want to do anything. I want to find a better balance. So that those are my goals. Let's go through a few more of the chats here. Ryan says he was also great in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yeah, a little bit I've seen of that show. That's one of those shows I want to go back and watch all of it. I did see him on there a few times. Yeah, the dude is hilarious. Daniel says amazing topic. You're welcome. I tried. Desiree says here's a topic. People are walking around blindfolded because Bird Box. Thank you, internet. You know, I haven't read any of those stories, but I saw that they had to come out and say, don't do the Bird Box challenge. And I'm thinking, okay, this might be spoilers for the movie. So if you haven't seen the movie, I'm sorry, but I got to talk about this. Okay, if you're just walking around blindfolded, trying to find things, okay, do that. Just don't walk into traffic. But there's a scene in that movie where, okay, they can't look, right? They can't, whatever these creatures are that you don't see, they could be the wind. This movie's The Happening, by the way. They can't look, so they have to cover up the car windows so they can't see. They have to rely on GPS to find a store so they can get supplies. They're running out of food at the house they're at. So the first thing I thought of when they said Netflix is warning people not to do the Bird Box challenge is that morons were covering up their windows and relying on their GPS to get somewhere. And part of me also thought, natural selection. But no, if I don't know what all they're doing, but yeah, if they're doing things like, I can't imagine what it is. I just saw that people were doing it, because before I saw the movie, all I was seeing was the memes. Because all I had seen was one before I saw it. I didn't even see a trailer. I saw the one picture of Sandra Bullock holding the kids with all them had blindfolds on. So whatever they're doing for Bird Box, don't do something stupid. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I thought people were using the GPS. That was my first thought, because that would be the dumbest thing from that movie that they could do. That scene was kind of neat within the context of the movie, but in a movie itself that wasn't that good, I'm not praising it too much. Let's see. Endless Noise says pretty much all my resolutions. You know, I know the weight loss resolution thing is one for everyone, but you know, we all need to try to be healthier, and that's not a slam towards big people. I'm a big dude, and I like to think I'm happy sometimes with how I am, but honestly, I just want to feel better. I don't want to hurt. I want to be able to play with my kids better. It's not because I think I'm such a horrible person because I'm big or anything like that. It's all just because I want to, uh, I just want to feel better and feel better about myself. Let's see. Zepser says, "Hell yeah, it's hard, but you know what? Again, buddy, you're doing great. Just keep that shit up. I know you can do it." Daniel says, "At first, I thought that the topic will be about why my showing of Holmes and Watson didn't play a Men in Black International trailer in front of it, and only play one Sony trailer, which is Brightburn." Um, I don't know. I've only seen the Brightburn trailer once, and that was online. Which, by the way, if you have not seen the Brightburn trailer, watch it. It's amazing. You think it's going to be a Superman. It looks like a Superman movie, but then it's not. It looks great, and it's produced by James Gunn. Which, man, they are pushing that. Hey, guess what? James Gunn's behind this. Disney. That's kind of how the trailer is, which is kind of neat. But that trailer gets dark. Yeah, if you haven't seen Brightburn trailer, check that shit out. It's cool. Lilmar fan account says, "Hey man, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to the stream." Daniel says, "Here's a Birdman challenge. What about watching? Oh, Bird Box. Like, okay, I thought it's gonna be a Birdman challenge. I don't want to jump off a building. What about watching Avengers Endgame for the first time blindfolded? No. But I tell you what, I have not seen the teaser trailer or anything. I'm trying to not see it, and if I see it pop up in the theater eventually, I am covering my eyes. I do not want to see it. I know I'm going to hear it. I mean, I did try to sit there during some trailers the last couple of years and go la 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 la, but that kind of disturbs the public. So, but no, I am avoiding everything I can about that movie. I really don't want to know. Um, I want. I mean, I saw one trailer for the last one, uh, for Infinity War. So, and I was so glad I didn't see anything because it made it such a better experience because I didn't know what to expect. And plus that trailer lied to us anyway. Let's see. GPS is still working. When it's the end of the world. Yeah, it's weird how some things were working in that movie and some things weren't. I didn't really get. I don't even think the movie got their own rules. And Daniel said he did mean Burn Box. Okay. The last comment I had on Twitter or YouTube, I can't remember which one it came from, was from Desiree. She said, "How about I rate what movies I'm itching for in 2019? Like which ones am I most excited for and which ones am I dreading to see? Good to plan ahead. I always try to. I'm going to be taking some vacations to make sure I can go to some of the earlier screenings. I need to start planning that this week so I can get that Star Wars time off and that Endgame time off for especially." She says, "I'm hands down looking forward to Us. I saw that trailer well over 10 times now. I got 5 on it. It's now a permanent fixture in my brain now, even though she's not a big fan of rap. I don't have these in any real particular order, and if they moved it to 2020, I'm not sure." Excuse me. These are just on a website that I use whenever I'm going over the movies for the year. The ones that I'm dreading is A Dog's Way Home, which that just movie I don't think it's going to be like that Dog's Life one or whatever, where the dog reincarnates a bunch of times. It's just going to be just one of those overly cute family films, and sometimes I just can't stomach those. Sometimes they're fine. So I guess I'm not really dreading it. What Men Want, that's the remake of the Mel Gibson movie. It looks like it went from being kind of a dark comedy to just a slapstick comedy, and it's just going to be men are stupid. Men are stupid. And, and then of course there'll be one good man out there, right? And that's the one she'll end up with. Let's see. Isn't It Romantic? Is one. That's the one with Rebel Wilson. I love the premise of the movie, but Rebel Wilson her comedy has not wowed me ever. I would love for her to prove me wrong, and do something great. But the premise of this movie is she bumps her head because, of course, everything has to start with someone bumping their head, and she wakes up uh, in a romantic comedy, a PG-13 romantic comedy. Kind of reminded me of John Candy's Delirious, where he like writes a soap opera and he wakes up inside of a soap opera. So if it's kind of like that and it's actually funny, it might be better. But I'm not a fan of hers, so we'll see how that goes. A Medea family funeral. Do I really need to get into that? Um, Thankfully, it's supposed to be the last one. We'll see. X-Men Dark Phoenix, because I don't know what they're going to do with it, if they're going to continue it, if it's just going to be the blow off. I mean, I for one am ready for Jennifer Lawrence to leave the X-Men franchise. Um, and after Apocalypse, I'm not real excited, especially since it looks like they're doing the same thing with Dark Phoenix that they did in Last Stand. Um, the New Mutants for the same reason, even though the trailer for that looked cool, who knows if it's even going to come out. And Sonic the Hedgehog. Um, After that poster for Sonic, just I was like, oh God, what is that? Um, so those are ones that I just saw from the whole year list of stuff that was out. Ones I'm looking forward to, Glass is a big one. Someone that's been waiting for a sequel to Unbreakable since Unbreakable came out. Well, I mean, that's pretty obvious. Happy Death Day to You is one I'm looking forward to because that first one is surprisingly really good. I'm afraid of what they're going to do with the sequel, but I'm excited for it. Hopefully it'll do well. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Hellboy. Even though the trailer looked too much like a Deadpool movie. Of course, Avengers Endgame. Detective Pikachu, that trailer actually kind of wowed me a little bit, so it makes me really curious what they're going to do with it. John Wick Chapter 3. Of course, I love John Wick, and I know they're saying this is going to be his last one, so I can't wait. Brightburn, as we mentioned earlier, again, if you have not seen that trailer, watch it. It's awesome. Spider-Man Far From Home. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's another one. Hobbs and Shaw. It Chapter 2. I'm really curious about Joker. I'm a little worried about it, but I'm curious about it. A movie called Knives Out and Star Wars Episode 9. So just off the quick list, those are the ones I'm excited about. Let's see. Let's go down the list or go down the chat here. Daniel says, I thought that James Gunn isn't popular because he got fired from Disney for making Guardians of the Galaxy 2 not as good as the first film. And making racist tweets. He's making tweets about pedophilia 10 years ago. He was making jokes, and those tweets got dug up, and Disney fired him. They were happy with his Guardians of the Galaxy 2 script, and apparently the script for Guardians 3 that he wrote is apparently fantastic. People were saying it's making him cry. Apparently they're still supposed to be using it, and now he's attached to, was it Suicide Squad 2, I think. He's attached to write it, and they're probably going to have him directed, especially if people are, clamoring for it. And I mean, he took a team of obscure comic characters and made them popular. And now he's going to take a team of obscure comic characters and make them popular. Let's see. A Dog's Purpose. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that movie. I did get sad with the German Shepherd parts because I had a German Shepherd for a year named Shadow, and I love that dog, and I still miss her. And the part with the German Shepherd made me cry, but so did the part with the German Shepherd in that Will Smith movie with the zombies. I still contend that the dog was the best part of that movie. Let's see. Daniel saying I'm dreading Ugly Dolls and Playmobil the movie. I haven't seen anything for Playmobil the movie. I've seen Ugly Dolls. It looks like it's going to be like a Trolls to me. Desiree says, what you're not excited to see a dog with an annoying voice befriending a badly CGI cougar. It's just one of those movies that I know something like that my kids would enjoy, and that's fine. But it's just going to be like, this dog's going to end up in a bunch of weird situations that could never happen to just one dog. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Maybe Wonder Park. Yeah, I'm worried about that one too a little bit, I guess. It just looks like it's going to try too hard. Ryan says, I'm worried about how Ugly Dolls will turn out. And again, I think it's going to be the Trolls of this year. Satchel says, Track Star Sonic. Yeah, that Sonic looks just like way too I mean, the body, like the head is huge. The body looks really buff. It just looks weird. Um, let's see. Ryan says, I'll say this about the Sonic movie. Ben Schwartz, fantastic choice. Definitely. And I thought the idea of Jim Carrey as Robotnik was cool too, but I'm just afraid of what they're going to do with it. Um, let's see. Bryston says, I'm excited about Happy Death Day 2. The first one was fun. Yeah, the first one had the makings of just a crappy horror movie, but then the movie decided to make fun of itself. And that was so much fun. And I hope, and it looks like with the trailer, I finally got to see the trailer for the second one. I think that's what they're going to do with the second one. So I'm really cool with that. I hope they have a great time with it, and I hope it's a lot of fun, just like the first one is. Daniel says, heck, if you want to show your kids scary stuff, show them Sonic the Hedgehog poster. My son's going to want to see it. I know he is. He loves Sonic. And it's like, man, at least I got to take him to go see Spider-Man last weekend. He loved it. And we also watched Sergeant Stubby that night too, and he loved it too. So I try to show him the good stuff first. Let's see. Bryson says, do you know anything about the Jay and Silent Bob reboot? I hadn't heard anything about that. I know that Kevin Smith was trying to get a Clerks 3 made, and that wasn't going to happen. Yeah, I remember hearing a little something about that, I guess, but I'm not sure what the plan was. Like it was going to be a prequel or something. It's been a while since I've heard anything about that, so no, I don't know much about that. That's not something I really want to see. And they did it too early. I would love to see more of them doing it in animated form, but I think the problem was they tried putting it on like national TV on like network when that needed to be on like Comedy Central or something where they could do more, be a little more dirty. Desiree says, I Am Legend is that Will Smith. Yeah, I just couldn't think of the name. Yeah, I love that dog and that, and I was so sad, but again, it was because of a German Shepherd. It's a remake of the Vincent Price movie. That's right. Last Man. I think you're right. It's Last Man on Earth. I think you're right there. What is my most anticipated animated film of 2019? Boy, I'm not even sure what's coming out. If you give me some that are coming out, I'd be able to tell you. I can't really think of any off the top of my head. Let's see. Frozen 2. How to Train Your Dragon. I'm curious about that. Surprisingly, I didn't think I was going to like either of the other two, and I did. Yeah, if you come up with some of them, I'll go through them. I don't remember if we talked about this last time or not. I know Lego Movie 2 is coming out. I'm not really excited about it. I want to see it, but I'm not excited about it. Let's see. The second shot of Sonic that's not a silhouette made me more optimistic about the movie a little. See, yeah, I've only seen there's like a motion poster or something. I haven't seen that. I don't know. Just the muscle tone of the body was weird. Let's see. Lego Movie 2, Shaun of the Sheep movie, Farmageddon, Missing Link. I'm curious about Missing Link's the Leica one, right? So I think, anything Leica puts out, I'm curious about. Secret Life of Pets 2, I like the first one. Okay. I finally got to hear Patton Oswalt as the main dog taking over for Louis C.K. And it was a little weird, but it worked. Toy Story 4, I'll watch it. I mean, I'm not excited about it. The Addams Family. I'm curious about that. Angry Birds movie, not so much. Let's see. Is the sequel for Spider-Verse coming out this year? I doubt it. We aren't going to get a sequel of that till probably, I imagine, at least next year at the soonest. They need to, though. They need to cancel every plan they have for a live action film and focus on making those animated movies, because I'm going to give Sony credit. They put together an awesome freaking movie, and watching it the second time was better than the first time. But yeah, I can't see it any sooner than 2020. They will fast track it a little bit, especially since it's up. I believe it's up for the Golden Globe of Best Animated, and it'll probably be up for the Oscar for Best Animated. Will it win? Probably not. It should, with the movies that are there, I think. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's got a shot. Ryan says, nope, anime sequels aren't that quick. John says Glass is my most anticipated one this year. I'm with you on that. Alita Battle Angel. It could be okay. but the anime eyes in live action is creepy. You know, I've never. I don't know if it's cartoon or just manga or whatever. I don't know anything about the source material. But anytime I see the trailer for that, all I can think of is this is what they wanted to do for Ghost in the Shell for all the characters. They messed with trying to make the anime eyes and everything. The fact that her character's a robot, I'm kind of letting it go and just hopefully the movie's fun. It could be fun. I have a feeling it's going to be a little full of itself. Everything I've seen in the trailer, it looks like there is so much going on in that movie, and I don't even know what the length of that movie is yet. I don't know if they've even released that yet. So I am curious to how long of a movie that's going to be. But I think I have this bad feeling it's going to be full of itself. It's going to think it's more epic than it is. Excuse me. Abominable is the DreamWorks version of Smallfoot. Yeah, I remember. I don't remember if I see anything. I know I've heard about it. Yeah, because Smallfoot was so great. You know, Smallfoot was fine. So of course they're gonna make more things like it. Ryan says, I think the big anime eyes is kind of a brilliant choice to make her look more intentionally uncanny. Yeah, I think that's why they're doing it. They're trying to make her different. Like, you know, yes, she's not human. Well, it's obvious, right? So it could be a cool choice. And if they would have done that with all the characters, it might have been kind of weird. Um, like if they were trying to do like what they were talking about doing with Ghost in the Shell. I still try to imagine what Scarlett Johansson would look like that after seeing it now. Um, so if they did it for everyone, it'd be weird, but just for her, it could be cool. Again, I think the movie story is going to be its downfall. I hope I'm wrong because the movie looks cool. So hopefully it is. Rouse says even if Spider-Verse doesn't win, I'll be happy no matter which movie wins. I know most of the movies in there are all right. I can't remember what all's in the list, but seeing Spider-Verse isn't just a good animated movie. Spider-Verse is just a good movie. It's got a lot of heart. It's got a great soundtrack. I was listening to the soundtrack today at work. Um, just the whole movie itself, especially again seeing it the second time, it just has a lot going for it. I mean, yeah, it's got a lot going on, but it handles the chaos pretty well. But yeah, I'm very happy. I'm just happy it's there and at least being considered. I thought Sergeant Stubby got snubbed. That's a little unfortunate because that's a great movie too. Daniel says if Glass is expected to be the first blockbuster of 2019, coming out in 2 weeks, how come tickets are on sale yet in advanced screenings for it starts 2 days before the movie comes out? Because of the holiday season, I think. I don't ever remember. I mean, they didn't do a lot of times for January. They don't do a lot of big time advanced screenings because yeah, I got the schedule and it was I think the advanced screening was like 2 days before it comes out. That's a normal for a lot of movies around us. I don't know about you, but you know, and I'm fine with that. It's one I'm excited for, but I can wait. Uh, you know, maybe they want to keep some things secret. Maybe it's going to connect to something else. Who knows? I mean, there could be many reasons that they're holding off on that as well. But a lot of times around the holidays, they kind of, they kind of wait on their advanced screenings too, especially since they've got all the Oscar films to push out around the holidays. Ryan says Tony Guerrero, better known as Co-host 3000 from Spill, is one of the extras on Alita. On the Double Toasted trailer review, Corey and the gang pointed out. Point what out there, Ryan? Sorry, I'm so I'll make sure I got your comment right. By the way, last non-Disney or Pixar anime feature to win an Oscar was Rango. Yeah, it's disappointing that more more studios don't get a chance. Because like I love Book of Life, I loved Kubo. Both of those got named my best animated features in their respected years. So it's disappointing that Disney and Pixar, even though they have some great films, sometimes they're not the best one. They have great films, don't get me wrong, sometimes they're the best one. Excuse me. Let's see the point that his buddy Tony, aka host. Oh, okay, sorry. I just want to make sure I got got what you're commenting there. Um, let's see. Bryson says uh, there is an English Grudge remake. I am dreading. It seems not really needed. Uh, though Pesci was decent directing The Eyes of My Mother. Yeah, I didn't heard they were making a remake of The Grudge. I've never seen the original. Um, but yeah, remakes need to slow down. Let's see. Desiree says I'm just freaking happy. My birth month of March is packed with a bunch of stuff. Looking forward to Weezer's Black Album, Devil May Cry 5, Captain Marvel, and Us. Going to be a fun month for you. Yes, it sounds like it. I wish I was more excited for Captain Marvel. I'm not saying I'm not. I don't know. I'm more excited for Endgame, I guess. It's not. I think that's the only reason I'm not as excited for Captain Marvel is just because Endgame is coming out after. Daniel says, or maybe Glass will be the last Airbender, and they don't want us to know. That could be true. The movie could suck. I have released M. Night Shyamalan from movie jail after Split. I'm hoping it's not premature. I really am. I put him on probation after The Visit or whatever, the one where they went to the grandparents, but it wasn't the grandparents' house. But I let him out. After Split. I hope I didn't do it prematurely. We'll find out in a few weeks. Let's see. Dan says Desiree, and you got Medea. Yeah, you got Medea. And Desiree says she's brimming with enthusiasm. Yeah, the Glass trailer does look promising there in Illinois. I am excited for it. I kind of wish I hadn't seen so much of it, but they've released so many trailers on it. But I am curious about it. Let's see. I believe Kevin Spacey and Netflix created the accusations against him. He's saying that Netflix created the accusations. I hadn't heard that. Okay, the one thing, last thing I really want to talk about, and this is newer news, and it got mentioned a little earlier. Oh, thank you, Jose. Okay, we found out today that Mean Gene Okerlund, the longtime WWF, WWE, whatever other organizations he worked for, wrestling announcer, interviewer, passed away today. And for me, as a wrestling fan, even though I'm not real big into it right now, he was always one of my favorites. And so today, a part of my childhood died. It's just like when Stan Lee passed. I mean, a guy like Mean Gene Okerlund, I mean, I know you're like, how can you compare him to Stan Lee? Well, he's someone I have admired for years. I just put him in that admiration, but I'm not going to put him on different level of pedestals. They're just someone I admired. And I was happy that a few years ago, I got a chance to meet him at Days of the Dead. I can't remember if it was Indy or Chicago. But I got a chance to meet him. And if you look on my Twitter page, I put up the pictures of me and him and the autograph he gave me. When I met him, he was just the nicest guy. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with him, but I got to talk to him a little bit. It was just crammed and busy, and they were pushing people along. But I said, he goes, who can I make this out to? And I said, my name's Gino. And he goes, you're kidding. I said, no, sir, that's my name. And so on, I posted the picture on Twitter so you can see it. I meant to have it over here, and I forgot to grab it. And he put on there to Gino from Mean Gino. And I always just, he was so tickled to talk to someone else with, I mean, my name is Franklin Eugene Reynolds, and for the longest time went by Gene, and then Gino's a nickname. And for the longest time, I went by Gene, and I think he was so tickled that he was able to sign it like that because he's like, "See how I signed it? Isn't this great?" And I was like, "Hell yes, it's great. This is awesome." Um, so just my little bit of time with him, I was glad. It's one of those that you're just so glad um, that I got a chance to meet because there's so many people that I've wanted to meet and they passed away, Leonard Nimoy or Andre the Giant, and some I had chances to meet, some I didn't, and I didn't get it, and I didn't get to do it. And I was glad that I got to just see him for that little bit, and I was sad to hear he passed. I haven't read any details on how he passed or anything, but as a wrestling fan, again, just part of my childhood died today because he's always going to be the greatest like wrestling interviewer ever, and no one will ever top him. And so, anyway, not trying to put the show on a sad bad note here, but I just wanted to mention that again, if you want to see my picture with him and the autograph, I put it on the Real Gino Twitter. On the Twitter page, if you want to see those pictures, I posted it earlier today. Let's go back into the chat here. See, what about you could do a Bird Box challenge when Avengers Endgame trailer plays in front of the movies? You can go see and wear earphones. Yeah, that'd be funny to bring in a blindfold and some earmuffs. That that's how I'm gonna be. I'm just gonna be like, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to see it. I just want to be surprised. I just really do. Let's see. Illinois says that's awesome. You met him. Definitely check that photo out. Yeah, he was a great guy. The one regret I had, and I didn't notice until after I got my picture with him, he had a microphone on like a little trophy microphone on his table. And if I would have seen it before the picture, I would have asked him if he would have held it up to me like I was giving a promo or something. I thought that would have been kind of cool. But it was cool to meet him though. It's just one of those moments, the second I heard about it, I got texts from friends. My mom sent me a message, because I've been sleeping and trying to rest off this cold. And yeah, it instantly just made me think back to that con and how cool he was. And, the times I've seen him, I've seen him in person a few times at like events and stuff, like WCW events and things like that. But getting to meet him was fantastic. So yeah, he was cool. Lance says Mean Gene could get any wrestler over. He was that, yeah, damn right, he was that good. So many people played off of him so well. Thinking about how like Hulk Hogan, let me tell you something, Mean Gene, and things like that. They all played off of him, and he could get the crowd excited for them. And the wrestler they would kind of just bounce off each other and it'd be fantastic. And he could do that for anyone. I loved seeing him interact with like Diamond Dallas Page and just anybody, especially like Ric Flair was always fun with him. So yeah, it sucks that he's gone. Like I said, I don't know what happened to him. But it's sad, but if he was sick, I never heard anything about him being sick or anything. Could have been. But anyway, and I did miss that. Jose said, yeah, he believes that Netflix created the accusations. Yeah, that's terrible. If that happened. Daniel says, Gino, this is a fun one. Which scene in 2 movies made you more uncomfortable? The almost sex scene in 8th grade or the sex scene in mid-90s? It has to be the one in 8th grade. Because though underage sex in movies always weirds me out, it always has. At least in mid-90s, it was consensual. Whereas in the scene in 8th grade, it was almost rape. Thankfully nothing happened. And that was just that hurt to watch that scene. But But yeah, I mean, they're both very uncomfortable scenes, but the one in eighth grade is definitely, I think, more uncomfortable because it was going to involve rape if it happened. Um, because you didn't know how ugly that scene was going to get. Where the other one, at least the two characters, I mean, yes, they were young, but they were both okay with it. It wasn't, you know, he wasn't trying to force her and she wasn't trying to force him. Um, Lance says Mean Gene was in the ring when Hogan went over as a heel. Yeah, he was there for everything. He was just there for everything. And I mean, one of my earliest memories is we got WrestleMania 3 on whatever pay-per-view was called back then, and he was always a big part of that. And yeah, I'm gonna miss that guy. Daniel says, "Are you looking forward to the upside and the kid would be king?" The upside, yes. Uh, because it looks like a subdued Kevin Hart for the most part, which can be good if he's not yelling and screaming the whole time and complaining about how short he is. Granted, it may be in this movie. I don't know. At least the trailer doesn't show it. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I'm hoping the subdued Kevin Hart works because I want to like Kevin Hart. I'm not a huge fan of his when he's just allowed free reign on a movie set. Um, as for the kid who would be king, I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm probably gonna have to go see it twice because when I went and seen Spider-Man the other day, my son said, "I want to see that movie," and I'm like, "Of course you do." And the only reason he wants to see it, and I even told him this, I said, "The only reason you want to see this movie is because that girl." They said, "Where'd you learn to drive?" Mario Kart. It's like you love Mario, and you heard someone say Mario. I think I'm going to show him the first Percy Jackson movie before going to see it. And if he digs that movie, then I know he'll probably dig The Kid Who Would Be King because it looks like the same kind of movie. Now, I don't like the second Percy Jackson movie, but the first one I enjoyed. So if he enjoys that one, I think he'll enjoy Kid That Would Be King. And it could be fun. It looks meh. I'm not excited about it. I'm wondering, I wish they wouldn't have spoiled that Patrick Stewart was Merlin in the trailer. I wish they would have kept that, to where, the kid turns into Patrick Stewart and you're like, holy crap, I thought he was just narrating this movie. But they spoiled that already. So, and I think he was just like, oh, I'll voice over the movie. And they're like, no, we need you in it. Okay. We need to have name recognition in this because I don't remember seeing anyone else in that trailer that I knew. Let's see. Lance says, remember Mean Gene's burger joints? Vaguely, but I do remember it. I don't remember anything about it, but I do remember they existed. Bryson says, thoughts on Pet Cemetery? I was not excited for Pet Cemetery when I first heard about it, even though I liked the people they're getting for the movie. Then I saw the trailer, and now I'm curious. I'm hoping that it's going to be like It, where they are able to make something of it other than it's just a remake. I don't want it to be like the Dark Tower, though, where it's just like, well, we have this franchise, let's use it. I really hope they do something special with it. So I am curious about Pet Cemetery. A little on the fence about the idea of it, but I like the cast and I like the trailer so far. So hopefully it's good. Lance says, how about Joaquin Phoenix taking a go at the Joker? My thoughts on that. I did this on a podcast. That's been a while ago now. I have a theory about his Joker. I'm curious about it. I'm hoping it's good. I mean, being that we still don't know what they're doing with the DC movie universe right now. I mean, who knows what it's going to be. I have a theory that he's the original Joker and that Jared Leto's is either just someone new or he's a former Robin, even though they said he's not. Because I think we're going to see the Joaquin Phoenix Joker in more than one movie. But they don't want to spoil that yet, of course. I have a big theory about it. I don't remember which podcast it was on. It was one of my later ones from my Get on the Mic days when I was recording those. I had a big theory about that. Unfortunately, I can't remember which one it was. But I am curious about it. I want it to be good because I mean he passed up on Doctor Strange and I'm sure a few other things, but he chose the Joker. So I'm kind of hoping that he saw the uh, he saw the script and everything. Was just like I got to do this. I'm kind of hoping that's the case. Did your son say that he wants to see Overcomer? Also, which one's Overcomer? I don't remember that one. Um, if you can give me a brief description of it, I'll see if I remember. I don't remember seeing anything about that one though. Desiree says Merlin looks like the best part of that movie. Even the young version looks pretty entertaining. Does look kind of self-aware of how lame it is, so maybe they'll have fun with it. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that that's just it. It has fun. If it takes itself too seriously, then it's doomed. I mean, it could be fun though. We'll see. I hope it is. It does seem a little self-aware. So if it takes that self-awareness and has fun with it, it could be good. I really do. I never go into a movie going, man, I hope this sucks and I have to sit here for 2 hours cringing. Uh, I, I never want to do that. Daniel says, what about you have your kids do a Bird Box challenge at the movies during the trailers? So you don't need to worry about them when to see bad kids movies. Oh, they would still hear it and they'd be like, I want to see that. I was like, you didn't see it. Well, I heard it. They'd probably be like the kids from Bird Box and not listen. I'd say boy and boy. If you've seen Bird Box, you know what I'm talking about. How could they not name those kids for 5 years? I'm sorry. And I'm going to spoil Bird Box a little bit here too. So I'm sorry if you haven't seen it, but I got to say this. There's a part in the movie where she gives the kids names, finally. And she named the boy after the guy she was in love with. I was fine with that. That worked. But then she named the girl after her mom, which would have been fine if the mom had not said in the movie, I think I want to name her Cinderella so I can call her Ella. Wouldn't you think she would have called her Ella? That just irked me. Of many things of that movie that irked me. Overcomer is the last trailer he played in front of Spider-Man and Spider-Verse. I don't think I got that one. I did see... I know they showed some religious movie. Was it the one where the kid almost like he's under the frozen lake? If it's that one, then that's the only religious one I saw. And that one just looked okay. Let's see. Dan says just tell them to wear earmuffs also. They take them off too. Bryson says, any opinions on the Downton Abbey movie? No, because I've never seen the show. That's one of those I don't know if I'll be able to see because I'm afraid I'm going to have to see the whole entire show. And after doing that for Entourage, I don't know if I could do that again. If they did it in a way that anybody could watch it, I'll be happy to watch it. But he says also in sequels, there's Kingsman 3. After 2, my expectations are low. Yeah, Kingsman 3 is supposed to be like a prequel or something. I guess is what they're doing. It's not going to have Eggsy in it. Yeah, the second one was not great. First one I still love, and the second one had some good stuff about it, but it was a little too much. And 47 Below Uncaged. I didn't know they were making another 47 Below. Great. Daniel says, no, I'm talking about the one from War Room. Yeah, I don't think I saw that one. Yeah, the only one I saw was about the kid that was under the lake. Desiree says, no idea what Overcomer is about, but it's drama, crying. Young girl's an athlete and crying coach. Okay, yes. Okay, yeah, I saw that. I think I saw that. Now that you mentioned it's about the coach. I don't really have any opinion on it. I pass a lot of the religious movies unless they have something that really interests me. Because I can't stand, and this isn't just from one side. It's just I can't stand movies that are overly preachy. I'm not gonna sit through another war room again. Things like that. I just can't do it. Um, I want to try to have fun at the movies, and there's movies out there, faith-based movies that have really good messages, and there's those out there that are just like, you're evil and you suck unless you join us, and I can't stand movies like that. There's some that are really good and some that are just a little too forceful for my taste. And that goes for not just the Christian faith. There's other religions that do that too. Um, let's see. Daniel says, "Are your kids looking forward to Dog's Way Home?" Ryan did see the trailer when we went and seen Spider-Man. He thought it was cute. So of course I probably won't take him to theater to see that, but it'll come out on video fairly quickly. Uh, Thankfully we were at the video store the other day when we picked up Sergeant Stubby, and I was afraid he was going to ask me for that ticket dog show. I was like, no, don't let him see that because he'll want to watch it. And yeah, I was glad he passed on that. If you guys got anything else you want to talk about, yeah, I can't remember. Was that the name of it? Dog show? It was the one where Ludacris was voicing the cop dog, and he had to team up with the human partner. And it's the one that they had the big controversy that they were showing the dog show part where they grab the, they test the area down there, and the dog was told to go to his happy place. They had to re-edit it, and I've actually seen the before edit. And I know Brad did too. Show Dogs, thank you, not Dog Show. See, I can't even remember the name. It's not a good movie. I was afraid he was going to see it. Yeah, the one with Will Arnett. Yeah, Jasmine. Yeah, I was afraid he was going to see that and want to see it. I'm like, oh, God, I can't sit through this movie again. But yeah, that movie got a lot of flack. And yeah, I know it'd be the edited version, but the movie's still dumb. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to that Dog's Way Home, but it's going to be better than Show Dogs. Desiree says, we didn't have Show Dogs for very long at work. It got recalled super quick. Haven't gotten it back in. Yeah, it just came out. I saw they had one copy of it at the family video I go to. But I don't ever want to see it again. So hopefully my kids never say, "Hey, can we see that?" Or my mom just doesn't pick it up for them. Mom, don't pick up the kids' Show Dogs. There's many great movies out there. Yeah, I made sure we got Sergeant Stubby that night, and my son loved that one. And then they showed the real dog at the end. He's like, "It was a real dog." It's like, I've been telling you this the whole time. But anyway, if you guys got anything else you want to talk about, put in the chat. I'm going to talk about the channel for just a second. If people are wondering where Gino's Bad at Games has been, I tried to start it last Sunday. But it turns out the game I was going to play isn't going to work. I bought Spec Ops The Line like 6 months ago on Steam, and I never got a chance to play it until now. And I tried to start up and it ain't working. And I tried to talk with Steam and they ain't helping. And I've sent a message to EA and haven't heard anything back. Apparently it's got problems with working with Windows 10. So I'm trying to figure out what game I'm going to play next, whether I want to play. I picked up the entire, well, not the entire, but I picked up the Street Fighter 30-year collection. I picked up Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, and I'm kind of wanting to do a Path of Ryu thing, but I don't know if I want to do that yet. Excuse me. But I also got a few other games I want to play because I've been wanting to play some. I just played the D&D game, and I kind of want to play something a little less family friendly this time. I got a few more games I might dig out, so I'm trying to decide what I want to play. I'm thinking about going back to Friday the 13th Killer Puzzle again too, but I want to do something different with that, so I'm probably going to wait on that one. So if you're wondering where that segment is, that's what's happened there. I just haven't been able to get the game to work. I'm trying to find a physical copy and seeing if I can make that work. I'm trying to find one for cheap. If I can do that, I want to try that. So if you're wondering where that segment is, there it is. This weekend might be kind of slow, so hopefully I'll be starting that segment this weekend because there's only that Safe Room movie that I got to see tomorrow, and then unless something else pops up around us, I won't have anything else to watch. I've been trying to go back and watch Jack Ryan on Amazon. I've been wanting to see that. I wanted to go see Anna and the Apocalypse. We finally got a theater around here that got it, but they had it for 3 nights. 3 nights I couldn't go, and that was it. And of course, now it's after Christmas, and that sucks. So there's not gonna be a lot of movies this weekend, so I'm hoping I can get caught up on some games and get some of them out there. Let's see. Daniel says, well, thank God that your kids didn't choose Show Dogs, or else they will be disappointed that they won't see any grooming in it. Like, just like you. Yeah, that part was, I thought it was weird, but I knew what they were doing. But then it's like, I guess that is a weird thing for kids to tell them to go to their happy place. I didn't really think about it. I just thought it was weird. And then when they said that, I'm like, yeah, that was definitely weird. Daniel says, play Sonic 06. No. I've never been good at Sonic games, period. I beat Sonic 2. That was the only one that I ever was able to beat. Let's see. Bryson says, is Shrek 5 coming out this year? When was the last time Myers or Murphy have done anything? I don't know when Myers was in Bohemian Rhapsody as like a record label guy. But together, I don't think I've done anything. I don't know if Shrek 5, I know someone's working on some reimagined Shrek thing, but I don't know if it's going to be in theaters. It's like people are reanimating the original Shrek in like their own vision, but I'm not sure if that's just going to be like a YouTube thing or what. I'm not sure what they're doing with Shrek. Desiree says, Vega is my favorite Street Fighter character. Been my fave since the animation where he chops an ear off of a bowl and presents it to Chun-Li. Of course, looks freaked out. I find that pretty boy hilarious. I love Vega. A lot of people, I don't watch a ton of anime, but the Street Fighter 2 anime that they came out with, where Vega and Chun-Li fight in her apartment, I've always thought was awesome. And I loved how they portrayed Vega as the sick psychopath in that. If you've never seen that fight scene, you can look up the fight scene on YouTube. The movie as a whole is pretty cool. I mean, some of the characters get the shaft a little bit. It's like, oh, here's this guy and this guy just so we can have this guy and this guy. But the main story is Ryu and Ken, and then the side story is Guile and Chun-Li. It's fun to watch though. And that fight scene's awesome. Let's see. Daniel says, what would you let your kids rather watch with you after a trip to the family video store? Show Dogs or Isle of Dogs? Isle of Dogs. They're gonna watch Isle of Dogs. I don't mind if my kids see Isle of Dogs. That movie's cool. I love that movie. It's not gonna be my favorite of the year because but I do like it. I did really like that movie. And yeah, it's weird, but I'd rather they watch that. At least they'd be watching a good movie. As weird as it is. Granted, you have to read half of that movie. Let's see. Ryan says, speaking of reanimated stuff, there's a video released today of animators recreating the song from Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue. It's amazing. I'll have to check that out. If you guys got anything else to talk about, go ahead and put it in the chat here because I think I'm going to be wrapping up. I have to go take back some videos and I got to go to bed because I have my chest hurts. So if you guys got any last comments, go ahead and throw them in there, or any questions, I'll go ahead and answer those. If not, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Daniel says, is there a movie that came out in 2018 that you didn't like but everyone else loves? I wish I had my list in front of me. I'm sure there was some. Off the top of my head, even though I will not say it's a good movie, it is not a good movie. But just because I like Jennifer Garner, I'll just say Peppermint. It's not a good movie, though. I will not defend that movie, but I'll defend that I like Jennifer Garner and I liked seeing her in the action role again. So that's the one I can think off the top of my head. Let's see. I guess is this pronounced PETA? Any thoughts on Happy Death Day 2 trailer? We did talk about that earlier. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll say it again. The first movie was more fun than it had any right to be, because the movie itself looked terrible when the trailers came out, but then the movie was a lot of fun and I loved it. And I hope the second movie is just more of that and then amped up to 11. So hopefully that's cool. I really do hope it's good. Daniel says, I don't think you should wrap up live streaming without Lloyd and Chloe's permission. They're not here. They don't dictate my life. Yeah, I always joke with Brad. Anytime Lloyd comes around, it's like, I feel like I should ask for an autograph. Let's see. Desiree says, yeah, I remember that fight. Vega totally kicked her ass. I remember him licking the blood off his claws again. Crazy. Yeah, she busts up his face and he gets all freaked out. It's so cool. And then she does the helicopter kick and like just really busts him up, kicks him through a wall. It's awesome. Let's see. Ryan says, in relation to the second Shaun the Sheep movie coming out, what's my favorite Aardman movie and favorite Aardman short? Honestly, I don't know. I've never really been a big fan of the Aardman stuff. I don't dislike it. Just anytime it's on, I enjoy it. I can't really pick out a favorite though. I mean, I didn't mind like Shaun the Sheep movie. It was okay. I don't know. It's just never been my favorite. I do appreciate the art style and how the time and everything it takes to make one of those movies. It's just not. It's just not. It wasn't for me. They're fine though. I'm not a big fan of them. But they're watching. They might be. People also hated Peppermint too. Yeah, like I said, people hated Peppermint, and like I said, I will not defend the movie. I will not, but I'll defend. I want to see Jennifer Garner do action movies again, because I don't know. I believe her in action movies, I guess. I'm sure there's others that I like that people didn't like, but I don't have the list in front of me. But anyway. All right. So pending any last minute questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the live stream. I think I'm beat, and I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Thank you so much for coming, and thankfully it's worked the entire time. I was a little worried at first, but when I saw the first comment pop up, I was happy, and I'm glad you all popped in to join. And again, we'll be doing these every other Wednesday, so the next one will be on the 16th at 7 p.m. Central Time. And unless something happens, but that's been what we've established. And that's again, if you have things you want to talk about on the next one, definitely you can put it in the chat for this video, or you can put it in or in the whenever it comes up on YouTube, or you can put it on YouTube or on Twitter. I always try to post something so you guys can do that. So definitely follow me on Twitter at The Real Gino. And also make sure to check the community tab on my YouTube channel, because I put the stuff up there too. And let's see. Let's see. PETA says, I like saying that. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Daniel says, sorry, I read that. So will you let your kids watch Isle of Dogs, but not the Happy Time Murders? No, they are not watching the Happy Time Murders. When they get older, my oldest son wouldn't understand why the puppets are doing bad things. His capacity probably wouldn't be able to handle it, and Ryan would probably copy it too much. I ain't letting that happen. But Isle of Dogs, I think they could at least enjoy as a movie. Desiree, see you later. Lance says, smash that like button. Yeah. If you like this, if you like these live streams, you like my channel, please share my channel with everybody. I would totally appreciate that. Bye, Jasmine. Daniel says, even if I forgot about the Happy Time Murders, I thought that movie had promise. It wasn't a great movie, but I thought it had promise. Let's see. Lance says, support channel. Thank you so much. Illinois says, have a good night. You too, Daniel. Have a good night. Satchel, thank you so much for joining. I'm glad you got to participate too. And good night. On a lighter note, Lance says we have a new Rob Zombie flick coming out in 2019. Oh boy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you later. Bye.